Okay. This channel is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken as legal advice. Today marks the start of our third class materials and new information on the final process of Patrick Devine's great work that set himself free. Today we will be covering the structure of your bank as well as the main positions held to operate your private bank successfully. Additionally, we will continue to cover the crucial topics of the performance and payment bonds, essential knowledge for anyone looking to navigate the monetary system as an individual banker. We will cover more of the structure of your private bank and your employees. Today's emphasis will be about commercial liens and private attorney general. It is important to note that while I'm your guide in this course, I am not the originator of this information. The insights we will explore have been brought to light by many great gurus, including Patrick Devine. His tireless research and dedication led him to uncover a remedy for freeing oneself from the monetary system. After 9 years and over 5,560 documents, essays, and submissions to various government entities, Patrick Devine discovered the key to liberation in 2016. Then he disappeared and said, "Now it's up to you to set yourselves free." This live 4-day course will cover the final process of Patrick Devine's great works, as well as information from others who helped him along the way. Let's begin. Okay, we have a lot to cover today. Let's start with Creditor Academy announcements. Guys, we hit 1 month. Yay, we hit 1 month that we've been around. So I was sitting down with my SEO members and other members of the team to go over what we accomplished in 1 month. Kind of do a quick little review, okay? First one is one across all social media platforms. We got 70,000 views across YouTube and Rumble. I got to say that it just exploded, and that was, I mean, I ran a lot of companies, and I'm here to say 70,000 interactions is no small feat to get into. We also have 500 members now to our Facebook group, and I just added the chat feature, so you no longer have to message or write a post to get people's responses. You can now chat with each other live. I think that one's really going to blow up. We have 10,000 people who registered for our email listing. We have 70 consultations that have been completed. That made me very busy this month. We have over 20 staff members now at Creditor Academy across 7 different departments. We started the book. The first section of the book is done for our professor's class, and it's titled "Your Journey to Private Banking: How to Find Your Remedy," which then is a pretty much a summation of Patrick Devine's final process. Last class was our biggest class we ever held. We had here in the classroom 100 people live and 700 people viewing on YouTube live. This class is growing, and I hope to see it grow even more. And then finally, the biggest awaited announcement that everybody was asking for, which is about the professors. The professors are now ready to take enrollment for their first quarter classes, which will be all about the structure of your private bank and obtaining your EINs according to the teachings of Patrick Devine. If you would like to register for the professors, you can email them at classes@creditoracademy.com. That again is classes@creditoracademy.com. We have 3 professors, so you have 3 different kind of schedules to register for. Let me just kind of tell you really quickly, when you register for the class, you get the book automatically. There's no get the book separately with a class or anything. They're all in one. This is exactly like university teaching, okay? If you want to learn and you really are just like, hey, I'm tired of following different gurus and watching videos, and I just want to get it all, understand it, and move on with my life, take the classes. You're allowed to ask questions. The professors have presentation material. They're very well versed with the EINs, and you get the book included with it. So there's that. Also, the private IDs, badges, and private documentation is now available as well. So you have the private IDs that Patrick Devine has had. The private identifications are the public proof of identification document, the transfer by deed, and your what was the last one? Oh, public proof of insurance. Public proof of insurance. The public proof of identification is the one with the badge. So we'll put the foreign grantor trust number in there for you. We'll put all your information on there. So it's just like, hey, thanks, edit and forget it. So that's it. You can get the badge right now. The badge is just, I'm telling you, it's a great, I chose one of the best badge qualities that you can get. There's only one badge selection for now, but there's going to be more customizations to come. I'll kind of talk a little bit about that in a moment. And then finally, the IDs. The IDs are here. They are ready. Again, if you want to go ahead and order your IDs, your badges, and your public identification documents, you can email sales@creditoracademy.com. Hopefully that just makes everything more convenient and all of there. And then you'll know it is done right without having to download Adobe and trying to enter all that information as well. The next update is the website. The website, if you would like to register on the website, you can now, but it is in progress in maintenance. We just hired a 15-year veteran at who makes websites and is going to put all the necessary plugins. Guys, Creditor Academy's website is going to be advanced. Even a Fortune 500 company would be happy to have this as their operating website. It will not only take you through the Creditor Academy classes for Patrick Devine's final process and get you the essential knowledge, but you can also operate your entire business on the website as well. Many great features and plugins that we will be adding, but this will be an actual type university school with some really big partnerships and a lot of features for every person's business needs as we operate in the private. So those are our announcements. Pretty good for our first month. So let's go ahead and double our numbers for next month and do a lot more and have more exciting updates. Okay, let's dive in then to our lesson for today. Guys, we got a lot to cover. Let me start off by giving some positive news and reinforcement. People from last class was like an epiphany, and they already got their remedy. And I'm going to tell you exactly how they got their remedy and what puzzle piece was put together in order for them to get there. Last time we had the discussion of your private banking structure. Like I say all the time, you need to have your private banker's EIN, you need your estate EIN, and you need your foreign grantor trust, okay? And we discussed the differences between kind of the different positions that are part of your private bank. One of the first things is we covered the bounty hunter. And we also covered your title with your private bank. Again, in the truth movement, the #1 word that has been spread around has been secured party or creditor. Secured party or creditor is not a position of employment, okay? It's just a position of priority is pretty much what it is. I often relate it to getting your license. You know, when I was doing healthcare licensing, if you wanted your license through the Department of Health to operate your business, then you had to get a license through them, and we would do all the legal work for that to happen. So imagine if you went up to somebody and they said, "What do you do for a living?" And you just said, "I'm a healthcare license." Well, that would sound pretty ridiculous because you'd be like, healthcare license, is that, are you a nurse? Do you own a hospital? Do you have a long-term care facility? What do you mean like that? So again, secure party credit is just the position by which you have a priority lien usually, or you're first in line for certain assets. It's not an actual position. In addition, or so the position that you do hold, I'm going to make a t-shirt of this. Anybody who makes t-shirts or stuff, I would love for you to reach out to me, because I just need Creditor Academy like shirt. But your official position if your private bank is individual banker. That is the position that you want, okay? That is by which how you will operate your whole private banking affairs. Individual banker is a prestigious position. Take this not lightly. You need to really know how to operate all assets and facets of your business. Now, one of the things that we are doing in the Creditor Academy book is we're trying to create a policy and procedure and compliance manual for all the positions of your private bank. But again, just because you have a license to do something like a healthcare license, and because you have policies and procedures, it does not mean that you're going to be successful. See, success is by how you implement doing your business, not by the framework that you're operating. Oftentimes when I had new clients where I do the healthcare licensing, they say, hey, I got the license, I got all my policies and procedures. Paul Michael, why aren't I a millionaire? And I just said, you have the framework, but you need to do the execution. You need to know how to run a business, just like you need to know how to run your private bank. And most importantly, as I instructed with those healthcare entrepreneurs, you need clients. You need clients. I remember I had my first client when I owned my home health agency here in Washington State. I had nurses and CNAs. It was a cool little gig. I remember my first biggest client, it was $40,000 a month. I was just floored by the amount of money that brought in, because not only did it pay for my overhead and operations, but then I could do more marketing and advertising and kind of expand more from there. So what has happened is your client for your private bank is your debtor. Your surety, your straw man, and all the other nominal names that we have for them. So I need you to imagine that your debtor, straw man, is an actual customer of your bank. He walks into your bank, and the first person he sees is the bounty hunter on outside as the security man for the private bank, and he welcomes you through the front door after he checks your credentials. After he walks into the bank, he goes over to the clerk of the bank and he says, hey, how are my accounts? I have a deposit. I'm doing a liquidation. I like it deposited here. And then he says, oh, I want to see how my investments are doing, my properties, my vehicles and whatnot. So he goes over to the trustee of his foreign grantor trust. And then he's like, well, I want to check how much money that I have available in credit. So he goes to the administrator of his estate. And then after a couple other people that he meets the big man himself, which is you, the individual banker. The individual banker's job is to deal with high asset clientele. And you will do anything for your customer in order to make sure that they're not only satisfied with their services, but on the back end, that everything is taken care of. And that is your job. That is your job, to manage that client. And that's why in this series this week, we are covering heavy on your private banking employees, what their job duties and roles are, and so on. So without further ado, let me go ahead and just kind of briefly touch on the people who got remedy, what they did, and how that relates to today's lesson, to kind of bring that full aha moment to you on why Patrick's Divine's final process is so powerful. So what they did is these individuals, they were operating, well, the first thing they did off the bat was they were sending out their SF forms, okay? They got their individual banker's EIN, they got all their other EINs, they got their non-UCC, they started sending out their SF forms. So they got replies back, and they from various institutions that they were trying to do discharge, and they got pushed back, and they were just like, no, sorry, we're not going to go ahead and honor this. And then they were like, oh, well, do I go to the IRS? Do I go to the CID? And all of that. Now, the first thing that when I was having this conversation with them is, to what capacity did you bring yourself when you presented yourself to these entities, the banks and whatnot? And the answer was they presented themselves as a debtor, as the straw man themselves. That will never get you very far. So what you do to remedy that is you need to come into the capacity of a private bank, okay? The private bank is through the non-UCC. So they said, oh, I did that. I submitted my non-UCC and registered mailed and all of that. And the next question was, does the private bank own the assets that you're trying to discharge? And there was the crux of the issue. If your private bank does not have ownership or control over those accounts, can't do negotiations. So simple fix, as we covered last time, is you need your private bank to have ownership over kind of a UCC 3 lien, which is that UCC 1 addendum form, and you list your collateral assets, and you'll refer to the filing referencing number on that document as well. After your private bank now has a priority lien over those assets, now it's time for that private banker to sit down with the trustee of your foreign grantor trust. And that's what's going to put it into the foreign jurisdiction outside of creditor's control. So after you do that, then you're just like, okay, now let's deposit these assets into the foreign grantor trust. We're going to cover how to do that. Basically, the simple answer on how to do that is you need a good indenture agreement. That's why I was covering in pretty much the beginning of my classes how I'm running Creditor Academy and some of the things I had to do to kind of get started. And one of those things that I started with was, hey, I need a business trust for this particular business, which my private bank has ownership over. But I also need to put assets, if I have any, technology, software, social media platforms that I'm claiming, all into my private bank's lien, as well as in my foreign grantor trust. Whatever you put in your foreign grantor trust becomes foreign. It doesn't have to be just private property or your vehicles. It could be also bank accounts as well, anything that you want to claim as your property. Now you're under the right authority to go ahead and converse with these creditors, because now you have made a commercial lien as well as safety house it for your foreign grantor trust, which is kind of like your vault. So that's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover commercial liens and how Patrick Devine used it. Like I said, I have so much documentation from Patrick Devine from files 37 through 42 that I want to cover, as well as cross-referenced information as well. So let's start with the commercial lien. I'll show you exactly how Patrick Devine did commercial liens. Let me share my screen. One moment. Okay. All right, when you can see my screen, just let me know. Just say, hey, Paul Michael, I see it.
See it.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, this is in file, I believe, 38 of Patrick Devine's final process. Patrick Devine puts up documents that he didn't necessarily write himself, but used as a good reference point in order for him to point out what it is that he is doing. So we're not going to read this whole document. It's 57 pages, as you can see, but I'm going to cover kind of this highlighted sections, and then we're going to go right into Patrick Devine's documents himself. So again, this document is found in the Patrick Devine files, which you should have access to If you email creditoracademy@gmail.com, you can have access to this document. Kind of outlines, I'm going to skip down. This is skip down. Okay, so let's start here. Commercial lien strategy background. Are you faced with corrupt lawyers and judges? No litigant can expect to win in a court by simply playing defense. To beat them, you must be able to scare them. You must be able to make them respect you. And that means you must be able to take the offense, attack them personally. Unfortunately, judges, lawyers, and other government officials enjoy various levels of personal immunity provided by both law and professional courtesy. How do you sue a lawyer for malpractice? You hire another lawyer, if you can find one who will take the case. How do you sue an IRS agent for violating your constitutional rights? Only with great difficulty. How you sue a judge for railroading you in court? You don't. As a practical matter, private citizens can't sue the President of the United States, a governor, judge, or even an IRS agent for failing to obey or enforce the laws. If we try to sue in court to compel our government officials to obey the law and perform their lawful duties, the judge routinely ignore our petition and laugh us out of court. Because legal and de facto immunities shield government personnel from being sued for committing crimes against the people, the public is legally disarmed, unable to aggressively sue the government or its agents and compel them to obey the law. As a result, the public legal posture is fundamentally defensive. We try to duck, dodge, and hide in legal loopholes to defend ourselves against the government and the courts. We try to escape, evade, and avoid, but we seldom counterattack against our antagonists, largely happen to do so. However, it appears that a powerful offensive legal weapon may now have been discovered, tested, and proven for the common citizens, the commercial lien. We don't try to sue a government official for failing to perform his lawful duties. Instead, we simply file a lien that encumbers the official's personal property and credit rating like a ton of bricks until he voluntarily satisfies our demand to perform his lawful duty, and we, in turn, voluntarily agree to excise the lien. Let's go through an example. I'm only going to go through one of these. Edward Jane Wagner, an hourly unionized employee at General Electric, received notice of levy from the IRS, garnishing his wages and monies received from several other sources. Wagner tried to persuade General Electric to not honor the notices, since they were not properly attested as a true bills of commerce. His efforts met with no success. After giving GE proper notice and demand, Wagner and his wife filed a commercial lien in the amount of $224,640,000 in the lien. Wagner impounded GE's inventory that he had worked on, including air conditioning units, analyzing equipment, etc., as a security for the lien. This is similar to an auto mechanic impounding a car he had repaired, a mechanic's lien. This meant that GE could not lawfully sell or transfer the equipment until the lien was either extinguished or satisfied. Among the reasons for the high dollar amount are that the law allows for such high sums as rewards for damages incurred, and it generally has to be large enough in relation to the size of the company involved to get its attention. Otherwise, such a large company might just ignore it. Consequently, a legal war followed, and by June of '92, GE had gone to court several times trying to remove Wagner's lien, all without any real success. This was in spite of the fact that GE had the best, most highly paid, and highly motivated lawyers. In June of '92, the first major victory for Wagner's came. The IRS issued 4 different official releases of levy, one to General Electric, plus 3 other places where they had wages and income that the IRS had levied. The Port of Seattle, Dean Whitler Reynolds, and Ohio State Life Insurance Company. These effectively released the IRS attachment on Wagner's income and assets. That's a pretty solid testimonial to the power of the arguments in Mr. Wagner's lien. We're going to skip examples 2, 3, and 4. I highly encourage you to read this on your own time. We're going to skip down to the power of commercial liens, ease of use. Although this lien strategy is explosive, it's more like nitroglycerin than hydrogen bombs. You need to be knowledgeable and careful to use nitroglycerin. You don't need to be a nuclear physicist. However, nitroglycerin can blow up in your face if you handle it carelessly. Likewise, bombing government officials with liens is a craft, not a science, that can be easily used as easily by knowledgeable pro ses as it can be lawyers and legal scholars. The commercial lien is simple, inexpensive, and takes very little time. It requires no court action or judge approval, and it has been proven to be very direct and effective if it is handled correctly. However, a few careless pro ses have had their liens blow up in their faces. See Chapter 5. So be meticulous when you use them. Long range. You can file a commercial lien on a property in another state or on a property you've never seen. With a commercial lien, you can attack the personal property of your adversary at long range rather than merely fighting to defend your own property in your own backyard. This offensive capability makes the commercial lien a powerful legal weapon. With a commercial lien, you can literally take the fight to their backyard. The helplessness of judges. The commercial lien, which is authorized both by the common law and Title 15. Guys, we went through Title 15 last time, Title 15, 1 and 2. Title 15, number 1, is $1 million per individual, and Title 2, or Section 2 of that, is $100 million per company. That's why when we go up here and we see the exorbitant amount of, what was it, 224,640,000. Yeah, that's a pretty hefty amount. You must have done a couple of different ones. But yes. But with a commercial lien, when authorized by the common law and Title 15 of the United States Code, is reportedly the same lien the IRS uses to take Americans' homes and cars. However, some pro se litigants do not depend upon Title 15, but upon the common law of negotiable instruments, aka commercial law. As such, it's almost impossible to remove a commercial lien without the approval of the individual claimant who filed the lien. Although a commercial lien can be challenged by a common law court or by the 7th Amendment jury trial, it does not require a court process or a court judgment for its establishment, validity, or execution. Therefore, it appears that the court may not be able to simply extinguish this lien on their own discretion or on a motion from the lien debtors without the voluntary approval of the person who filed the lien. Traditionally, these liens can only be removed by the voluntary decision of the person who filed the lien, by the decision of the constitutional common law jury trial, or by waiting 99 or 100 years. Very limited options. Since the common law has been smothered in the USA, all judges are essentially powerless to overcome the liens. The right way law. Before utilizing any of the procedures suggested in this manual, we strongly suggest that you join an organization called The Right Way, or LAW. They are experts on legal and court procedures as well as liens in general. They also have great expertise regarding Title 42. Okay, so what's the theory? Okay, the theory of commercial lien strategy. To effectively use a commercial lien strategy, you should have a good grasp of the principles of law involved. Immediately following this introduction is an essay written from Christian theistic perspective explaining the foundations of common law. This explanation will no doubt be very different from anything that you have been taught. In fact, licensed attorneys may have the hardest time understanding this because they have been taught to think only in a certain way. An intelligent lay reader will probably understand the following article without much trouble. Most of us have been hypnotized into believing that the meaningless scribbles of legislators, presidents, etc. constitute the law. After reading this chapter, one thing should be absolutely clear to you. The law is whatever you give your consent to, and that is so true. This insight frees you from being a victim and a subject and restores you to your rightful position of power of sovereignty. Always remember, though, that territory gangsters have all sorts of ways to obtain your consent. Standing up for your rights always involves risk. All right, let's go over the commercial affidavit process. Okay, the commercial affidavit process, or CAP, is perhaps one of the most powerful devices available to common man for righting wrongs and accomplishing justice. The process is not new, as some may believe. It is the foundations are the laws of commerce which spring from the eternal, immutable laws of God. And those laws have been in force since the beginning of human existence. Provoke the use of the commercial affidavit process against you, and you provoke the wrath of all that is just and right. Today, those who are availing themselves of the CAP system are equipping themselves with a very powerful equalizer. Make no mistake, the CAP is a very lethal weapon in the war against injustice. It is capable of righting wrongs while eliminating the cost factor that deprives thousands of people from getting justice. The expression equal under the law, again, has real meaning thanks to CAP. When the CAP methodology is properly loaded and cited on a wrongdoer, success is as good as in the bag. The process is powerful and dangerous to those who are in the line of fire. There is no escape. Either acquiescence and justly recompense or suffer the awful consequences. And those consequences can be calamitous, as will be shown. Okay, I'm going to kind of skip these sections. I want you to read them on your own time. But we're going to skip down to here. This is a really great, the foundation of commercial law rests solidly on the bedrock of justice and common sense. It's so true. Everything I do and teach on Patrick Devine has to do with common sense and kind of bring it all together. Okay, this is the last section I kind of wanted to point out to you. And many of you have maybe seen this before. But below are the maxims that surround the rightfulness and lawfulness of the commercial affidavit process. This, by no means, is an exhaustive list. Regarding justice, all are equal under the law. A matter must be expressed to be resolved. Claims made without accountability are void. Might does not make right. Force, perjury, or subordination of perjury voids all. Fraud vitiates the most solemn promise. While the battle continues, he who first leaves the field or refuses to contend loses by default. You are free to make any decision you wish, but you are never free to escape the consequences of your decisions. A laborer is worthy of his hire. Thou shalt not steal. Notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Regarding the truth, truth stands supreme. Truth affects but cannot be affected. Truth is expressed in the form of an affidavit. Truth will out. An unrebutted affidavit stands as the truth. An affidavit must be rebutted point for point. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Ignorance is no respecter. It affects all without regard to position or title. Regarding sovereignty, it is self-evident that all men are endowed by their Creator, God, with equal and unalienable rights. The created cannot be greater than its creator. A man can give to another no more than he himself has. A man may not with impunity infringe upon another man's rights. The people are sovereign. In America, the government is the servant of the sovereign people. Regarding the power of authority, we cannot give to anyone or anything any power or authority we do not have. The power of the commercial lien is Patrick Devine's greatest final process. The commercial lien is what makes his, or brings about justice. The commercial lien is what levels the playing field. If you can master the art, or the dance, as I would call it, of the commercial lien, you can battle your adversaries. For no laws and going and arguing or anything like that can outperform the power of putting a lien on personal assets or property. Patrick Devine knew this very well, and he implemented it inside of his process. And he did it using the non-UCC. Let's review that now. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. My international organization affidavit and constructive employment payment non-UCC lien. Patrick Devine, as we just read, did a commercial affidavit process. This is how he used his non-UCC to do liens. Patrick Devine writes, I declare by my living will that I, an American citizen, as the Patrick Devine, private American international organization of two persons, a birth person of the land per the international laws of the land, and a Christian person of the sea, per the international admiralty laws. As an international organization, I stand protected by the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, PL 79-291, and Title 22 USC 288A. I am the secured party owner of all of my constructive debtor children, held under the Patrick Devine United States Bankrupt Citizens Organization bondage per the fraudulent constructive governmental employment child labor contracts for the beneficial profits and unjust gains of the constructive contract beneficial owners. The law against unjust enrichment from a child's labor and the required settlement is one of the oldest laws in the Bible. Therefore, I am invoking my right of Caesar claims for all of my children's freedoms and rights, labor credits, and future entitlements per the United States Foreign Expatriation Act, 14th Congress, Section 2, Chapter 249 of 1868. Per my attached secured party non-UCC constructive collateral lien filing number, registered mail number is the one that you would put there. And per this document,
I think he's gone. You gone, Paul. You gone.
Has it been 30 minutes?
Patrick Devine is not alive, by the way.
He's not? Okay. He
He
always
died in
mentions then he left.
2017.
Yeah,
Oh,
he passed
did
away
he?
around 2017.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What about someone put in there about Gene Keaton? Is he alive?
He is
He's alive.
alive. He
Yeah.
is still alive, but he is sickly. So there is somebody taking care of him. And as for Patrick, he is gone, allegedly. But, you know.
You say allegedly?
Yeah.
That's
We
what, because
don't-
he says, you know,
We don't know.
the way Paul Michael says it is he found his remedy and disappeared, basically. So I was just
Really?
curious.
Well, you know
He
what?
just,
Much
he
power
just
to
went
him,
off
man.
grid. He
I
just
don't know.
That's
When I
what we all
listened
look
to
at
his
it.
his calls from 2017, you can kind of hear him like, I don't know if he was just tired from trying to drill this into everybody's heads, but he did sound more run down. And he was talking about being in the hospital and discharging the hospital bills and all sorts of stuff. So I think he really was sick. Now, Tom, on the other hand, I think that was too much of a coincidence. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, okay,
What about Tom?
is the end for us too? I don't know.
Tom passed away as well. Like was Shay? Was it the same year almost? He kind of kept on putting out some of Patrick's documents, and like 6 months later, he passed away too. But I've seen Patrick's obituary online. I mean, you can fake all that if you want, I guess, but I don't know. Yeah.
With the food, with the poison they're putting in the food and the chemicals they're spraying above us, they're killing us right now. So
Yeah, so I don't know. You never know. I would like to think not that, but
Yeah, Obama did fake his birth certificate, so it's possible.
You're right about that.
Dang, you went there. Obama faked his base certificate.
Did the class finish or did he get?
He's
Nah, he
got
got cut off.
to
He
come
got
back
cut off.
in.
but there's
Oh,
room
okay.
to come back in still though.
That's some good stuff so far.
I just registered for the I guess the classes. Is anyone on here one of the professors or
No,
I
no,
will
no.
soon be. Nah, I'm teasing.
Hey.
Hopefully.
Congratulations.
Yes, me
Oh,
too.
I wonder
Right,
what happened to Patrick's mother. You know,
How
he was
much is
taking
the
care of her,
class?
but nobody
Hey,
says anything about
Betty.
her.
Shout
He
out
said-
to Betty. The class
Guys,
was free.
after the class, I'm
Hey.
gonna open up a chat in the Telegram so we can all like
I'm
shoot the
back.
shit over there. Oh, sorry.
I'm back.
Betty,
You know, sometimes when my internet comes out, it's kind of nice to take a break.
You're doing this on purpose, huh?
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is.
what's up, man? How are you, Paul?
Bro,
Welcome back.
Carlos. Good.
What's up, bro? Hey, look what I got. Look
Bro,
what I got.
you got it. Hey,
Awesome.
man. Wait,
All
what's
right.
nice. Wait, which one's bigger though?
Hey, let's not mess with it, okay?
Dude, that looks fresh though, bro. That's clean. Now everybody can get their badges now.
Let's go, bro.
So that is awesome. Where did I leave off? Where did you guys last hear me?
International American? The title.
You're
Really?
talking about the affidavit
At the very beginning?
at the middle.
In the middle. Gotcha.
Yeah, in the middle.
If I see the sheet, I could tell you, but I can't go off the top of my head.
Gotcha.
right now.
Okay. Where at?
Right about Congress Session 2, Chapter 249, 1868.
Perfect. Per my attached secured party non-UCC construction contract lien filing number, that's your registered mail number, and per this document, the following actions are now a bankruptcy obligation of the Federal District of the U.S. Trustee and the U.S. Secret Service. I am ordering the termination and liquidation of all of my constructive children's construction employment bondage contracts. I am claiming all of my children's labor, performance, and payment credits and accounts, performance and payment bonds. I am also claiming all future monetary entitlements, adjustments, and reimbursement settlements. I have examined this affidavit, and to my knowledge and belief, all of my statements are true, correct, and complete. I further certify it to be a true fact per the historical laws and laws of this nation. Posted, signed, and sealed by the authority of the private attorney general. This is why we are studying the structure and the employees of your private bank. The private attorney general is the employee that brings about justice and is your offensive employee when you need a defense. Patrick knew how to operate as a private attorney general, so through utilizing his commercial liens that he was utilizing. And that's why when we covered in the last Bounty Hunter series and the relationship between the bounty hunter and the private attorney general, the bounty hunter goes ahead and brings about the case and the information, so the private attorney general can bring about the enforcement. Your private attorney general is the one who corresponds with the IRS and the CID to do the commercial liens as your offensive detail. So we will be covering today more about that position. So let's go here. Okay, this is going to kind of cover what I was mentioning on why people got remedy from the last class, and they put this together. The secret non-disclosure of the hidden American insurrection UCC liens for unjust corporate profits done by hidden recordings, American identity theft, and corporate tax concealments and evasions. Patrick writes, in the corporate banking world, all 11-digit numbers and letters are constructive derivatives or children. UCC lien awards under corporate beneficial ownership banking accounts that belong to the true owner. You're the executive owner, man or father when properly claimed, where a 13-digit number and letters per the American Banking Constitution and corporate statutory laws, such as a registered mail, non-UCC, or a foreign grantor trust, EIN, is to be used in the order to claim or lien a living man's accounts, as he is now a postmaster of age, the lawful owner in full control. All the following accounts filed under 11 digits. The main secret U.S. citizenship UCC lien recording office is the Bureau of Vital Records, hiding the corporate bankrupt beneficial ownership state of and United States liens. They include the Certificate of Live Birth, U.S. Citizenship UCC lien, the Marriage Certificate account, a U.S. Citizenship UCC lien, and finally, the Death Certificate account, a U.S. Citizenship UCC lien. Number two, the 501 churches, all caps, are under corporate EINs, which hidden within the membership UCC liens and claim records. This includes the Certificate of Baptism account, the Right of Marriage account, other membership right accounts, and the Right of Death account. Number three, the state of corporate UCCs are hidden in the Department of Record Books or state banking records. This includes your driver's license and ID card account, the UCC with State Department of Transportation, the Certificate of Vehicle Title account, which is a UCC with State Department of Transportation, and a Certificate of Land Title account, which is with the UCC with the State Department of Agriculture. Number 4, United States corporate UCCs are hidden in the Department of blank records. A is U.S. Social Security Foreign Accounts, or U.S. Department of Treasury. U.S. Medicare Foreign Accounts, U.S. Department of Treasury. U.S. EIN IRS accounts, U.S. Department of Treasury. U.S. Military Honorable Discharge Certificate DD-214 account, U.S. Department of Defense. United States Passport account, U.S. Department of State. As all corporations are operating for profits, they are not paying the taxes owed to the true government, the people. Tax evasion, fraud in representation or concealment in attempting to avoid payment of a tax legally due. As in case of an income tax, the filing of a return fraudulently understated in a willfully attempted to evade payment under Willingham versus United States. A felony punishable by a fine no more than $10,000 or up to 5 years imprisonment or both. Internal Revenue Code, Chapter 7201. Your foreign grantor trust and your registered mail non-UCC over your accounts or claim and or lien over the living man's accounts is how you protect your assets inside of your private bank. You see, when you have your non-UCC private banker's EIN, have a priority lien, first in line, first in time, over your house, your title to your vehicle, your driver's license, your bank accounts, your certificate of live birth, your marriage certificate, your death certificate, the baptism account, the right of marriage, all the others that are listed here. Now you have a priority lien, and now you can put it safely inside of your foreign grantor trust EIN. This will be how you do a claim and a lien on all of the following. Okay, now let's go over the next exciting thing. And remember, all of that is done through the private attorney general. Let's go into the private attorney general. Okay. Now I wrote this document. I'm not trying to say it's perfect, but I try to do my best to get the main outlines done as I'm trying to write the policy and procedure manuals and compliance manuals for each of these positions. The private attorney general. At our private bank plays a pivotal role in overseeing legal matters related to sovereignty banking, ensuring compliance with relevant laws and regulations, and representing the bank's interests in legal proceedings. The PAG serves as a legal advisor and advocate for the bank, working closely with other banking personnel and external properties to protect the bank's assets and uphold its fiduciary responsibilities. The job duties of the PAG are legal compliance to ensure that the bank's operations comply with all applicable laws, regulation, and industry standards related to sovereignty banking. Number 2, legal representation. Represents the bank in legal proceedings, including court hearings, arbitrations, and negotiations to protect the bank's interests and rights. Contract review. Review and negotiate contracts, agreements, and legal documents to ensure that they are in the bank's best interest. Number 4, risk management. Identify and assess legal risks facing the bank and develop strategies to mitigate these risks. Number 5, policy development. Develop and implement policies and procedures to ensure legal compliance and best practices in sovereignty banking. When I'm writing all these, structures for the bank, I'm acting as a private attorney general. Dispute resolution. Manage disputes and legal conflicts involving the bank, working to achieve favorable outcomes through negotiation or litigation. This is where you'll do your whistleblowing. Number 7, legal research. Stay informed about legal developments and trends in sovereignty banking, conducting research to advise on legal matters. Collaboration. Work closely with other bank personnel, including executives, compliance officers, and risk managers to assess legal issues and achieve the bank's goals. And then finally, client or straw man advising. Provide legal advice and guidance to clients of the bank regarding their rights, obligations, and options in sovereignty banking. Examples of duties. Representing the bank in lawsuits filed by a client challenging the bank's decision regarding asset management in a foreign grantor trust. Negotiating with regulatory authorities on behalf of the bank to resolve compliance issues related to sovereignty banking. Drafting legal documents such as trust agreements and asset protection plans to meet the needs of the client. Advising the bank's executives on legal risks and implications of business decisions, and conduct legal research on recent court cases or regulatory changes affecting sovereignty banking, preparing reports for the bank's management. The private attorney general plays a crucial role in ensuring that the bank operates within the boundaries of the law while protecting its interests and those of its clients in the complex landscape. In the context of sovereignty banking, a private attorney general works closely with various staff members of a private bank to ensure legal compliance, protect the bank's interests, and represents clients effectively. Here's how a PAG's role might interact with each of the listed staff members. The PAG with the bank examiner may work with bank examiners to provide documentation and legal explanations regarding the bank's operations and compliance with relevant laws. For example, if the bank is audited for its handling of foreign grantor trusts, the PAG would collaborate with the bank examiners to ensure the audit process is conducted smoothly and accurately. The bounty hunter. The PAG may collaborate with the bounty hunters to gather evidence and pursue legal action against individuals or entities that have violated banking laws or committed fraud. For instance, if a bounty hunter uncovers evidence of money laundering within a foreign grantor trust, the PAG would use this information to initiate legal proceedings against the responsible parties. The bank clerk. The PAG may work with the bank clerk to review and process legal documents related to sovereignty banking, such as trust agreements or asset protection plans. PAG would ensure that these documents comply with applicable laws and regulations. The trustee of the FGT. The PAG may advise trustees on legal matters related to the management of foreign grantor trusts, such as compliance with reporting requirements or asset protection strategies. The PAG would also represent trustees in legal proceedings if necessary. See, the trustee doesn't go to court. The PAG for the private bank is your pit bull. The pit bull goes out to defend the bank. If you want to think of it anyways, like Dog the bounty hunter, if he had a pit bull going out with him, he would bring the PAG. Executor of the estate. The PAG may assist executors in the administration of estates, providing legal guidance on tax implication, asset distribution, and other matters. The PAG would ensure that the estate is managed in accordance with the wishes of the deceased or straw man and applicable laws. The individual banker. The PAG may advise the individual banker on legal matters related to their clients or straw man's accounts, such as compliance with anti-money laundering regulations or structuring of trust agreements. The PAG would also represent individual bankers in legal disputes if needed. Again, it is the PAG that goes to court, not any of the staff. The commissioner. The PAG may work with commissioners to authenticate legal documents or to administer oaths. The PAG would ensure that these actions are conducted in accordance with applicable laws and regulations. And finally, the accounting officer. The PAG may collaborate with accounting officers to ensure that financial records are accurate and compliant with accounting standards. PAG would also use the records to support legal arguments or investigations. Overall, the interworking relationships between the PAG and other staff members of a private bank in the context of sovereignty banking is one of collaboration and mutual support. The PAG's role is essential in ensuring that the bank operates legally and ethically while also protecting interests of its clients and beneficiaries. Okay, so now the big question is what gives you the right to operate as a private attorney general? Does anybody know?
RICO Act?
RICO, good job. Absolutely. It is RICO. Let's go over that really quick. There we go.
Good job, whoever answered that.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Absolutely. So here we go. RICO, aka Racketeering Act, establishes your private attorney general authority. Both statutes, RICO and Clayton Act, bring to bear the pressure of a private attorney general on a serious national problem for which public prosecutorial resources are deemed inadequate. The mechanism chosen to reach the objective in both the Clayton Act and RICO is the carrot of treble damages. I'm going to read this part right here. The object of civil RICO is thus not to merely to compensate victims, but to turn them into prosecutors, private attorney generals dedicated to eliminating racketeering activity. This was brought about by the mafia. The mafia was taking over many parts of Europe and the United States, and the United States under RICO came up under the agency Holding Corp versus Malley versus Dump to go ahead and bring about prosecutors to basically whistleblow against these mafia members. And that's how the private attorney generals came about. The private attorney general concept holds that a successful private party plaintiff is entitled to recovery of his legal expenses, including attorney fees if he has advanced the policy inherent in public interest, legislation on behalf of a significant class of persons, according to Dasher versus Housing Authority of City of Atlanta. Black Law's Dictionary, 6th edition, describes private attorney general as a private citizen who commences a lawsuit to enforce a legal right that benefits the community as a whole. And it does benefit the community. When you whistleblow against these private for-profit corporations that are using your unlimited credit and assets in order for them to write bonds against the performance and the payment bond as a mutual fidelity bond in order for them to earn money off of without your consent. That's why you need to be a private attorney general. You're the whistleblower to that. So when you do not get your remedy, or you, like these other people who got their remedy recently, were getting pushback, now that they're under the right capacity and they have all of their assets inside their private bank, and that their foreign grantor trust is holding those assets under a foreign jurisdiction, now the private attorney generals can go to work, and we can now fully address the problem by whistleblowing and saying, hey, you're now interfering with our private banking rights. Private attorney general. Private attorney general is a private citizen who brings a lawsuit considered to be in the public interest, i.e. benefiting the general public and community as a whole. The private attorney general concept holds that a successful private party plaintiff is entitled to recovery of his legal expenses, including attorney fees if he has advanced the policy inherent in public interest legislation on behalf of a significant class or of persons. While Congress can constitutionally authorize no one, in the absence of an actual justiciable controversy, to bring a suit for the judicial determination either of the constitutionally of a statute or the scope of the powers confirmed by a statute upon government officers, it can be constitutionally authorized one of its own officials, such as an attorney general, to bring a proceeding to prevent another official from acting in violation of his statutory powers. For then an actual controversy exists, the attorney general can properly be vested with authority in such a controversy to vindicate the interest of the public or the government. Instead of designating the attorney general or some other public officers to bring such proceedings, Congress can constitutionally enact a statute conferring on any non-official person or on a designated group of non-official persons authority to bring a suit to prevent action by an officer in violation of his statutory powers. For then, in like manner, there is an actual controversy, and there is nothing constitutionally prohibiting Congress from empowering any person, official or not, to institute a proceeding involving such a controversy. Even if the sole purpose is to vindicate public interest, such persons so authorized are so to speak private attorney generals. The private attorney general phrase was coined by Judge Jerome Frank in a decision which did not involve an attorney fee at all, but rather a private citizen standing to sue for vindication of a public objective. Judge Frank's appointment metaphor attracted appellated opinion writers, for it soon left its restricted statutory mooring and drifted into wider waters, bobbing up in a variety of civil rights and public interest decisions and legal commentaries. Okay, the term private attorney general was coined by Judge Jerome Frank in the context of a challenge to a private person standing to bring a lawsuit to vindicate the public interest. It is meant to convey the concept that a private citizen may stand in the shoes of the attorney general, not in the sense of an attorney general representing a party in court, but in the sense of a government official advancing the public interests in a lawsuit. Indeed, in most instances, a private attorney general is a private citizen represented by counsel in court. Private Attorney General Statutes, California Business and Profession Code, Section 17207. Let's go to the bottom. Any person acting for the interest of itself, its members, or the general public. And any person acting for interests of itself is, this is just going to go into more of the same. Any person, corporation, firm, partnership, joint stock company, or any other association or organization which violates or proposes to violate this chapter may be enjoined by any court or competent jurisdiction. Guys, being a private attorney general is a powerful position. And Patrick Devine knew how to operate in that position very effectively. And that's what gave him justice when not only what he was whistleblowing to the IRS and the CID, but also for his commercial affidavit process for his commercial liens through the non-UCC. You see, the structure of your bank is so important. And knowing what hat to put on when you're going into pretty much battle, I don't want to say battle, but confrontation, and is extremely important as well. Every time I have a consultation, I try to figure out which hat or which employee do you need to be operating under in order to deal with that specific case. 90% of your issues and problems are not to be solved through the SF forms, the standard forms, SF 30, 14, 14, 14, 16, 14, 18. That's the final nail in the coffin, but it's how you set up your bank in the very beginning, and you cover the 3 primary positions of your bank, or 4, I should say. The 4 primary positions of your private bank are as follows: your private attorney general, your bounty hunter, your banking examiner, or also known as your executive owner, and your individual banker. Actually, I would say the individual banker is more the executive owner. Those are the biggest ones that are in the total operations of your private bank. That's why we're covering each one of these positions through our 4-day course. Because if you know how to operate and communicate when doing your private banking affairs and how to set everything up, it's just the dominoes are going to start falling.
Paul, can you repeat that again, please? The positions?
Oh, the different positions of your private bank are the private attorney general, they're the bounty hunter, the banking examiner, and the individual banker, also known as the executive, or actually the executive owner bounty hunter. So actually the bounty hunter, well, that kind of falls within all 3. You're the executive owner, you're the living. I mean, we're naming all these positions, but really you're the living, you're the executive owner over your accounts. And as your name on it, you have control over it. So that's why we're going over this in this 4-day class. You have to know to what capacity that you're operating your private bank. And as soon as you do, I'm here to tell you, freedom is not far away. One of the things that we will be covering is I'm having a subgroup, which I'm going to be talking with, which involves 3 individuals, where they're going to be doing the establishing of a UCC contract trust. I'm super excited about that. They're going to put all the documentation in order. They're going to do the step-by-step process and whatnot. So you would have the EINs and the structure of your private bank, and then you would have your establishing a UCC contract trust and kind of know the inner workings of the Treasury and the TT&L and system. But there's still an in-between. The in-between is to know your employees and know also how to set up your indenture agreements, because if you're going to be putting all of your assets into your vaults, you better have a good indenture agreement and know what the duties of a trustee are in that capacity. So that's kind of the in-between I'm working on right now. That's there's a lot to do about that. Okay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take questions for the class. I'm pretty much done instructing on today's lesson. Go ahead and raise your hands if you have a question. Let's start with Maluia. Go for it. Maluia. Or Betty.
Yes.
There we go. All right. No, you're on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize my hand was up. I'm gonna put it down.
Oh, okay. No problem. Deep end.
Okay, you mentioned earlier before the class started about the fiduciary. Was that only needed for the 56F for the individual banker?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you're establishing a UCC contract trust, you'll take your Form 56F, which will be the fiduciary over your foreign grantor trust. Then you'll take another Form 56F to do the same for your estate.
But you don't need to do that now.
Nope, that's during the establishing a UCC contract trust.
Okay, and then
you start communicating with the Treasury and all of that. Absolutely.
Okay,
let's
wait.
go.
One more.
Was it?
The deed transfer. What is being transferred?
All of your credits into your private bank.
And when do you want to do that? ASAP?
When you're establishing a UCC contract trust.
Okay, so when are we going to do that? I'm ready.
Yeah, that's why I need a whole team to work on it. So yeah, there's that. All right, let's go to Susan.
Howdy, Paul Michael. How you
Howdy,
doing?
Susan. Great to chat with you, girl. It's excited for
Hey,
our
I was taking
consult.
notes on another screen. Hopefully I can remember these questions. So just super quick. First question is there, can you tell me, like, if you're going to endorse a marriage license to liquidate from a former, what would be the proper endorsement for the back of the license?
For the marriage license, it'd be a banker's acceptance, or a banker's
Accepted for
endorsement.
value? Can you just, if
Accepted
I
for
don't,
value, yeah. Well, after you establish your UCC contract trust, I mean, just like you kind of just saw Patrick Devine even doing in his own non-UCC affidavit and doing a commercial lien over it. Yeah, he just wrote down the number and submitted those in.
So am I kind of on hold until I get the UCC contract trust, which kind of dovetails into the next question that I have, because I have all of that set up, the non-UCC, but I'm getting ready to step in. I just got my copy of my birth certificate to start the UCC contract trust process.
Good.
Yeah. So am I, like I sent out, I'm sitting here going, I kind of wish I wouldn't have sent those 5 packets out today.
No problem. I mean, you'll get her. Here's the thing. Just because if you don't get a validating response back doesn't mean that it's over and done with forever. You know, like you can always go back and reestablish yourself. I've had to do that too, where I'm sending out packs, I'm sending out documents, I'm not getting the response that I want. So I have to just look at my process again, and I'm like, oh, I need to operate under this authority, or this is what I missed this time. And you can resubmit it all over again. Like every time that you submit doesn't mean that the organization that you're kind of working with is not going to eventually give you remedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these were my first, so these will be my first hits, I guess, if
No
they don't
problem,
work.
no problem.
But when you mentioned earlier about the people that got their success, were they operating under the UCC contract trust? I missed a little bit of that. Or were they, you said something about the liens. Can you just briefly touch on again the people that were succeeding and getting the remedy?
Which, by the way, they should be making the remedy videos and uploading them. Every time someone gets a remedy, I'm like, come on, guys, like just make the video. And then they're like, anyway, make a video. And then I'm like, great, okay, like do all this. So what they did is they put themselves in the right position of authority by making the authority over the properties that they're trying to have control over. Okay. So the first position of authority to have done is to put things in your private bank. It's probably the heaviest thing that people do. They're just like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm about to do a lien against my house, let's say. And oh my gosh, I'm about to not only do this lien, which is kind of the easy part, you know, through doing your initial liens and through UCC 3 and all of that. But the big part is when you put it in that foreign grantor trust, because it's an irrevocable foreign grantor trust. Now, I will have an example of a template that I personally used, and it's going to be part of my course series where I kind of show you the different things you can add to an indenture agreement, but it is irreversible. That means that you will no longer own that property anymore, but you'll be able to control it, and you'll be the trustee over that property now in a foreign jurisdiction. So when you do that, you know, it takes some, that's why even me, I have like a professional, like I said, I had a professional put together my indenture agreement, and I just said, hey, I want kind of a template. I know how to write one, but if you could just get all the legal jargon and make it really full and complete, that would be appreciative. So Creditor Academy is looking for those individuals who are business trust professionals. This will be part of our schooling. It's important to know how to put together your indenture agreement because it's irrevocable after that, because you're giving your property now to the trust, but you do have control. That's why as the grantor, you want to put out all the guidelines of how much power the trustee has. Now, if you want to ask me, Paul Michael, what did you do as the grantor and how much power did you give the trustee? I said absolute dominion. Like they can make any decision. They can hire employees for the estate. They can sell it. They can do absolutely anything. But the purpose of doing this is to get your assets out of the purview or control or the future liens of creditors.
Okay, and just one quick question on a real estate license, form of real estate licenses with just the non-UCC, do I stand a snowball's chance? Or am I gonna, because I did send those to the Secretary of State back in Ohio, 2 of them today.
That's
and I
fine.
think,
That's fine. Wait for the response. Just wait how they
Okay.
respond. That's where I would go, because now you know this information
yeah,
and you're just like, oh, I need things in my private bank. That
yeah,
makes sense, because you might be because when they look at it, they're like, are you a debtor or are you the secured party private banker, individual banker? Like, which one are you? Because you're showing that you're an individual banker. You showed your public identification and for what
Yeah.
authority that you're operating under. But now they're going to be asking, well, probably double checking, like, okay, are the assets under the control of that private bank? And if they're not, how do I see that? And how
well,
you see that?
if they're former real estate licenses that are debunked, you know, they're gone because I'm not in Ohio anymore, then I don't really have any claim
No,
over there.
you can put any license you've ever had in your life under the control of your private bank and put it inside your foreign grantor trust.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
I'll figure that out later. I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you.
No,
for
you're
everything.
totally fine. So then when you do your SF forms, now you're like, oh, cool. I'm in control. I'm the creditor. I got all the, so now things are moving like butter. Okay, let's go to Emule L.
My man. All right, you got it.
Yep, see, I remember.
How you doing, Paul?
Hey, doing good.
All right. So you talked about the indenture agreement. I'm here looking at my UCC one, and I got the fidelity, the advisory, the collateral, the default. I don't see the indenture. You're going to be providing an indenture?
Yes. If you would like a copy of the indenture agreement for all those who have purchased the Patrick Devine files, I have put a Creditor Academy file within there where I put in the manual on how to run a trust and all of the other trust documents as well, including a sample indenture agreement that I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of indenture agreements. Mine is very thorough, and you still would need to add things to it, but I put the sections where you would need to add things like, oh, trustee. Oh, well, who is that? Well, okay, I put the name here. Oh, property. Okay, put the property stuff here. Oh, guidelines and powers of the trustee. Okay, I'll add some things in here. So that's kind of what the class, if I could get 90% of the work done, and then I bring in some business trust experts and stuff like that, and then they have really deep knowledge. Like, I'm not trying to say I know everything, but because it's pretty involved. But I mean, you don't need to be a genius to operate one, but it is an important responsibility, no doubt about it.
I have a call with you tomorrow, so I'm not going to ask a lot of questions, but I'm sorry, I just drew a blank. I'm about to change my trustee from the LLC to the individual bank. So should I just wait to get your indenture so I can just do everything simultaneously?
So good. Okay. So you said trustee of private bank, trustee of foreign grantor trust.
Right. So I have
those are two different positions. They
right,
are.
but the bank, the bank was going to be the trustee over my UCC one as well as my non-UCC.
Yeah, you can do that because with your non-UCC, you're doing the priority lien over the properties, and then so it's like one trustee talking to another trustee. Hey, I did this action, so then we have a lien because the trustee of the foreign grantor trust can't do liens.
Okay,
they have different jobs. So that's why you do the lien, and then you go to this and you say, okay, now let's put it for protection into the foreign jurisdiction.
Now, my last question is real quick. On my power of attorney, myself, the living man, as well as the trustee are interchangeable. They can do the same thing.
Yes.
That indenture is going to be basically that where I don't really need the power of attorney?
You could still have a power of attorney, absolutely, because, you know, you can Yeah, because they're, yeah, I mean, you are you, so you can operate all sections of your private bank. You have no limitations. So if, let's say, you're the trustee of the FGT and you're the trustee of the private bank, but let's say you woke up one day and you said, this is too much damn work. God, running a private bank's a lot of issues. I'm going to hire someone. You can hire someone to be the trustee of your private bank or your FGT. I put in a stipulation inside of mine that I can hire as many trustees as I want to manage my FGT or my private bank at any time, so then I can go focus on other roles.
Leads me to one last question, I promise. Can I get other commercial banks to be trustees for me? Because I've noticed corporations do that, where they set up other banks to be their trustees and protect themselves. I could do that as well?
Yeah, but why would you want a for-profit commercial bank running your private affairs?
I got you.
Yeah.
I could be a banker.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be as protection, but I got you.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, you're putting a lot of trust inside of a trustee's. Now here's the thing, guys. Here's an easy way that I just do it. Okay, I'm the trustee of my FGT, right?
Yep.
I don't need to have another trustee to do certain jobs. I can hire employees because I'm the trustee. Anything that needs to be done for the benefit and affairs of my beneficiaries, utilizing the property or assets that I have control of, I could do whatever I want. So I can hire an accountant. I can hire a property manager. I can hire all of these positions, but they don't have to hold the title of trustee.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Master Shay. Mr. Shay.
I'm here. Okay. So I'm also starting this process for my daughter, and she's 21.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay because she's 21?
You can start early, but the executive owner of age is 25, where you're kind of removing, and that's according to the Shipping Act. So then you can no longer be collateral commercial assets. Now, you could be the guardian over her account and do it that way.
So I should just get rid of her 3 EINs and all of that?
No, she could be a private banker still. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my question. If I
yeah,
set
it's
that
just
up,
and the Shipping Act is just it's referring to utilizing your credits for commercial assets, where at the age of 25, their commercial contract officially ends at that point. So then you have full control, but she can have control right now with her 3 EINs, and she could say whatever. She has the ability to contract unlimited, so she can make any negotiation she wants with the Treasury Department.
so but the liquidation part and all of that, that's 25.
No, she can still do the liquidation. She's not limited. It's just, when referring to the Shipping Act, you're the executive owner at that point, meaning that it can no longer be used for commercial purposes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to let you know that I design T-shirts. So
you do? Great. I want my logo.
I just design. I'm a designer.
Great. Yeah. Find a vendor. So it'll be the Creditor Academy logo. Say Creditor Academy, and our colors are blue, and then in white, individual banker. And what this does is, besides me making T-shirt sales, is you got to put it into your frame of mind of what position you're holding. Just like my clients with healthcare, I said, hey, I'm a home healthcare agency owner. And I said, you need to get into that frame of mind. So many brand new businesses fail because they wear too many hats, and they try to be, I'm the onboarding HR agent. I'm the salesperson. I'm the Google SEO guy. No, you need to get into your head. My position of title for the rest of my life, as it relates to my responsibilities for my private bank, is I am the head of the whole thing as an individual banker.
I'll get on it as soon as we get off, and I'll send
Cool.
you like a draft.
Cool. And
Okay.
email me at my private email as discussed before. Carlos, love to hear you, my friend.
What's going on, man? You called me
What's
on call.
going on? You're firing on all cylinders, man.
All
Good to
right,
hear
man.
from
How are you, man?
you?
Hey, brother, no, so actually what I wanted to do is I wanted to have a one-on-one with you. I have
Yep.
a couple situations going on. I have sent some of the bonds. I also been doing a lot of the IPNs and bill of exchange, but now I want to go ahead and start leaning to specifically a judge. So I'm going after a couple people, and I want to. I know you have more experience. I've kind of been drafting it, but there's a lot of moving pieces that I'd like for you to help me out and put together and try to systemize so I could get this right. And just in case, second set of eyes that can actually see things that I'm missing. I can hear you. Are you there?
Okay, I broke up. You can.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, bro.
Okay, I know. I saw my internet glitch. Say that last part again.
Oh, okay, got it. No, say so. You can help me put a lot of these things together. So I have a couple of situations going on. I send some IPNs. Also send some of the bonds. I need to reinforce it. I need to go ahead and lean a judge as well. Some of the proceedings and one of the court proceedings that I had. I have sent a rate quote warranto, a couple fee schedules that kind of add up to almost like $3 million right now. And I want to start leaning them. So I want to go ahead and ask for your expertise, sit down, so we can put this together and help me out as well.
Absolutely. No, and that's the importance of our courses that we're putting together at Creditor Academy, because it's not only for you to understand the structure, but it is some detail to be able to be like, how do I house my assets and all of that into my private bank, so then I can act on a private attorney general, so then I can enforce these commercial liens. As we just read in that document, which I recommend everybody reading the document, it's in the Patrick Devine final process called the Commercial Lien Strategy handbook, if you want to be. It's only like 50 some pages. It's a powerful tool. It is so, and it's easy to use, and it brings back all of your power. So imagine this: what the people who got remedy is they did this. Okay, let's use the HOA for an example. I hate them. They're communists. Gosh, they're just so. What they do is they got here in Washington State, they're priority creditors. So what happens is HOA talks to me, says, you owe me so much money per month, and I'm going to hardly do anything for you. And you say, no, I don't want to do that. Well, in order to get out of that situation, after you put things into your foreign grantor trust, now you're in a foreign jurisdiction. They're not going to the Cook Islands, Belize, or Taiwan in order to litigate against you. I guarantee it. Not only that, but the Cook Islands specifically have a statutes of limitation of 1 year, and you have to have pretty substantial defense for that. And it usually it's like you have to kill someone basically. So anyways, after you get that in there, now it's outside of their jurisdiction, which kind of frees you from the creditors. Well, guess what? You're still in the United States, or they are still in the United States. They're under the jurisdiction where you can now go after them. So now you're out of their jurisdiction. They can't do anything to you. Now you're like, okay, now I'm going to turn the tables. You are about to do a lien on me and try to take my assets. Now I'm going to do it to you. And that's where they back off. And they say, I liked it when I had the opportunity to put this on you, but now that you escaped and I'm still trying to go after you, but now you're doing this to me, and the only way that I can get remedy for myself, my corporation, my company, is by basically getting your permission.
You know what? Something that I did and something that I know that I feel comfortable now following through in a lot of these things is everything from vehicles to properties to some of the investment properties that I have. I don't own anything anymore. The foreign grantor trust owns everything. I'm just
you did? Hey, that's my guy.
I just control. but I don't own crap, bro.
No,
And the
nothing.
crazy thing is that I'm living in New York. A lot of these counties have their own jurisdiction. I'm telling you, man, it's so hard to deal with a lot of the bureaucracy from a lot of the politics that goes along. And it took a lot. It took a lot. Finally, like even today, this morning, I was able to lastly put Indeed the home that I live in right now from one of my business to the trust. And I even have a UCC one that I did UCC 3 because I already UCC 1 a long time ago.
Yeah.
The property, but I UCC 3 to the foreign grantor trust, which, dude, try to go after me. I give you 50 cents that I have in my pocket. I owe you nothing. But then now I need to follow through because the thing is, I already put this in place. Even I send, like I told you, I submit a quote warrant to against the judge, and I give him detail.
Yeah.
I send them a fee schedule, and I'm telling you, it was very detailed, almost 17 pages, register mail, and so on. Now I want to follow through with the lien. You know, have everything. I have my little badge too, so you know. So I need you know, obviously you got more experience than me in this, so I need a second set of eyes because I know I'm going to start.
He's for hire.
What was that?
Carlos is for hire.
No. I'm still learning. I'm very humbly learning. You know, I help with Paul, but I'm still learning this. It's just that I tell you why it is when you apply yourself and what Paul is teaching and somebody teaches me Patrick, they work. They work. But trust me, you need to apply yourself. You need to read into it. You need to actually understand and ask questions. I've been asking questions like crazy. Paul can tell you that. But bro, just let me know when you can, so like that.
Absolutely. Send me an email to my direct email address, and then you know, we'll just go ahead and catch up from there, brother. I'd love to have you as part of Creditor Academy and the very exciting things that we got going. Now that I got a working machine, Carlos, you know, and it's firing on all cylinders. Yeah, we can help a lot of people. I'll be very excited for that.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's go to Kendra Pack.
Hi, Paul Michael.
Hello.
I am new here. I've been trying to do remedies for a couple years, and I have a EIN that I did a year ago, and then one maybe 6 months ago, but it doesn't have how you have it. Do I still use that, or just trash all of that? And
it's hard to say, Kendra, because I don't know what you wrote, how you did it.
It's just one says Kendra Pack Living Trust, and I'm the trustee, and the other one says Kendra Shireen Pack Trust.
Yeah, it's probably not right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
can I redo these, or
absolutely.
Oh, that's what.
And you know what? That's the benefit of me putting together the professors. The professor's job at our first instructional class is all about the EINs. So if you want to register, and I encourage.
I did already and paid.
Oh, you did already. Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
I'm probably your first one.
Yeah, perfect. And you get the ebook included, and it's all into one. And this is where, you know, you can just get the understanding, because I don't want to be one of those individuals that does EIN services by doing the service for you. The purpose of the class is to teach you why you're structuring your EINs like this, like Patrick Devine wanted you to learn it. And then you can go gangbusters. You're just like, whoa, I get the whole picture. And I know how I'm supposed to operate, and I kind of got my systems. And now you're operating like an individual banker, and now you don't need to rely on anyone anymore, just not even me. And then, honestly, we could do big business transactions together. I'd love to get a bunch of individual bankers inside of a room and be like, hey, I'm trying to help all businesses and stuff like that. What's your business venture? And we just go buy huge properties, you know, expand real estate. If you're into boats, I love boats, and you know, get into that. And that's the true power of banking in this sovereignty movement, because we're bringing back the republic of private banking and we can do a lot together. So I'm excited for that.
So, okay, there's two other things. How I am a broker, a licensed real estate broker in Michigan and in Washington, D.C.
Right.
If there, I don't know if you would, should I send it a resume? Is there anything in this journey that you would need a realtor or anything like that? I don't, oh, okay.
The thing about realtors is that, you know, y'all have great organizational skills, you know, processing of paperwork and legal documentation. When I meet with a realtor, I don't think of myself as like talking to somebody who's just basically showing me a house because it's pretty, but you understand the intricacies of dealing with commercial banks. And that is a huge advantage when going through this process because you already have such knowledge on this ahead of time. If you want to join us and anybody who wants to volunteer for Creditor Academy to help expand what it is that we're trying to accomplish and free people at a much faster place, please send an email with your resume to hr@creditoracademy.com. The top positions that we are looking at at Creditor Academy are as follows. We need more HR people. I mean, we're getting, I asked for 70 to 80 employees and man, we're receiving them and we're getting a ton of resumes and we still need more, but I need more HR staff to help with interviews, getting processing, you know, onboarding and stuff like that. So we definitely need that. And secondly, definitely need people who really understand business trusts and stuff like that, because an entire course needs to be taught on that between the EINs and establishing a UCC contract trust. So those are the two ones.
Thank you. So I should hold off on trying to attempt my foreign trust until after the class.
Yes.
Okay.
Get the overview, ask all your questions, be like,
all right,
how is this? You know, the professors are top notch. I trained them myself. We read them through the book. Yeah, it's going to be great. Okay, let me go to En Lee. Yin Lee.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good, Yin Lee. How are you?
So I just finished my non-UCC, all the papers, register mail, to the mail. So what is the next step that I have to do? That commercial UCC 1 or UCC 3 addendum to the non-UCC?
None of that. The first thing you need to do, the first thing is you need to take my class on the EINs taught by the professors and understand the structure of your bank and how it operates. Your mission, En Lee, is to know intimately how to operate as an individual banker. It's a job. It's literally a job. And so if you understand what the job duties of an individual banker are, and you know all the employees of your private bank, you will operate seamlessly. And that's why we have the first EIN course to go ahead and teach you on that. If you get that and then go into transferring your assets into your private bank as well as your foreign grantor trust, I mean, sky's the limit from there.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Ricard, hey, buddy. Yeah.
King of the house. So two quick questions. Can I liquidate what I'm currently using, my current marriage license? I mean, my wife's not going to be upset, right? And my current driver's license, right?
Yes. Yeah, okay. My wife's going to be upset. Yes, you can.
And the second question is, we have a little heated discussion in the chat there about the original document for the non-UCC mailing. So is it the original that goes in? I know we discussed this the other day.
Copy. Always a copy.
Paul, I was talking with Richard. I don't mean to jump in, but in Patrick's packet, it says in the directions to send the original to yourself. There's a settling all claims package that he put out in June. And it says, I took the quote directly from the document where it says, I mean, it's in the chat somewhere, but it says seal the original, send it to yourself, and never open it again. Make copies before you send it. So
Okay, send that over to me. I always want to review it. I was always under this is this. You put in the copy, and here's my logic around it. You put in the copy inside of there. Now you go to court and you're just like, hey, I got my logic from sending the copy. Everything I send in all of my packets to banks, to HOAs, whatever it might be, is never the original.
Correct.
Anybody who has the original can go ahead and use it against you because now you don't have the originals anymore. The argument that you're making is true. You could have the original shipped to yourself and it's still within your possession. So then you could show a copy of it. Now the question becomes, what?
I have. Do you want me to put the? Do you want me to email it to you?
Yeah, just put it up. I'll review it. I'm not here to disagree with Patrick.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It just says send the, and I get it too, because it's like it's lock and key now. Like this is the original. It shouldn't ever be sealed. We have our stamps on there. Like this is my filing, and then the copies are what we send with our, you know, our packages for settling claims. But I mean, regardless, you're not supposed to ever open it. So
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Yeah, but I'm just, I've been listening to Patrick for a while, and even when we talked about it last time, everybody else was like, no, you got to send the copy. And I just didn't want to, like, it doesn't matter so much, but this is what I learned from Patrick. I'll send it to you in email.
Okay, cool deal. Yeah. I'm all about it. Next thing, I actually want to make a quick announcement is, you know, we're working on so many projects on Creditor Academy. I have people firing on all cylinders in every department. We got full-time work that we're doing to move this quickly. I do need a division that I wish to create. Now that I created a new division, establishing a UCC contract trust, I have pages of files, the Patrick Devine files. Right here, this is what I always grabbed. Look at, these are all of his essays and paper, and there's still more. It's pretty much filling up to the brim. And what I've done is I've compiled all of it so that I can review it. Two things that I need. This is not a, this is kind of like a call to action type deal, but I need two things. I gave you all files 37 through 42. That's Patrick Devine's final process. What I need in sequential order, going from least 37 to highest 42, is every essay that Patrick Devine wrote in order. Okay. Then I need a second thing. I need from 37 to 42, again in sequential order, all of the definitions that Patrick Devine did. What this is going to do is by having his definitions, we can read and see what he saw and why he was interpreting things the way that he did. And to have his essays, I can create the whole entire roadmap. I basically already did that. However, I do kind of, you know, I have a lot going on right now. I have a lot going on. So that's kind of that's my homework assignment, if you want to put it under that. Yeah, whoever wants to put that together, put that into a zip file, and whoever does that, I'll give you a free consultation. That will be, yeah, I got so many definitions, but it'd be nice to have a little book where I have all of his definitions and I can just kind of read through it and yeah, put that together. Okay, so let's go on to the next person. Charlie McLean Jr.
Hello, I'm here. My mic been broke for the last couple of times, so I wasn't able to come on when you asked me. But I have a a declaration of it's the declaration of estate by statute granted, a bonded trust, recorded with the Library of Congress. I can use that, correct? I should be able to use that, right?
Well, that was a heavy question. Okay, say that again.
It's declaration of estate by statute granted, a bonded trust, and it's also a executing privacy and security agreement, copyright notice, and waiver of tort. It's
Okay.
recorded with the Library of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that can be used. I'm asking is that could be used as a declaration of trust existence, correct?
And you have a declaration of trust in there or an indenture agreement?
It has everything in there. It's a change in the filing method and a writ of pre-emptory mandate.
So is it a declaration of trust or an indenture agreement in it?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah. Is it a foreign grantor trust?
No.
Do you have a foreign grantor trust?
I got the EIN number, but I think I might have to do that again. I got all three of my EIN numbers. I have the old Patrick Divine's non-UCC, but I figured I was gonna do a new one.
No problem. Go ahead and take our classes at creditoracademy.com and we'll help you with all the EINs. You can not only get the learning of how Patrick Divine set up his private bank, but also be able to ask questions regarding that.
Well, I sent the email about the registration for the EIN class, but I didn't get a response on it yet.
Classes at creditoracademy.com.
Right.
Okay, well, it's there, so we have a team that will be able to respond to you and get to you as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Brian McGowan.
Yes, I've got a question, Paul, relating to those that have problems. I've got some issues with the utility company. If you've got a pressing matter, is that something that, is there some type of a letter or some kind of a document that might be able to send to basically get them off your back while you're working on this? In other words, if you're at a point where, you know, you may have your things shut down, is there something that can be done to basically quiet them down or, you know, or no?
Do you have your 3 EINs?
I have one. I don't have the other.
Okay. Take classes at creditoracademy.com. That's where you start.
Okay. And one other quick question. As far as the 98 number, I was told by some people that that have done some other processes that you have to have a 98-6. And technically, they said you're not supposed to use your date of birth or social security number. Do you know if that's had any effect on people having remedies by doing it that way?
No, if you give your SSN or you don't, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, or date of birth.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't get hung up on that at all.
Just you make sure you have a non-Hague country that you're using.
According to Patrick Divine's teaching, this is not legal advice, but entertainment purposes only. Patrick Divine chose a non-Hague region and did it that way. Yes.
Okay. In the next class I should take, just contact someone at classes.
Yep. Classes at creditoracademy.com. And then if you like all your identification, like badge and ID and your public identification docs, so you're not spending hours and hours on Adobe, go to sales at creditoracademy.com and we will fulfill those orders for you in a timely manner.
All right. So you would recommend that rather than my making an appointment with you?
Yes, well, this is why I brought about the professors, because I had 70 consultations, 60 some odd of them were all of their questions were answered using the structure of the EIN. And I was like, yo, I have to have a class on this. This is ridiculous. We have to start at the basics. And the reason why is because they had other people do the EINs for them without telling them why it is that they were getting these EINs or why Patrick got it. And once you understand that, life is going to be so much easier for you. And also read that commercial lien document that I just went over today in class. That is chock full of information, 54 pages. You can get through it in a breeze. I usually don't recommend reading anything else, but if it's in the Patrick Devine files and Patrick was referring to it and use it as part of his process, I do recommend it.
And with the classes, all the other materials you mentioned, or is that something still separate?
No, it'll be something separate. The EIN class just covers the EINs and nothing else. My other team, which is the establishing a UCC contract trust. Is Iris in here? Where's Iris? Iris. I don't see her. Where's Iris? Iris, that's what I'm putting you on. And then we got, and then 2 other people. And then Ricard. And then Ricard, you're going to be on that as well. You guys do an amazing job. You have the understanding. Everybody wants to establish a UCC contract trust, but they want to step by step and want to figure out, why it is that they're doing it. Again, none of my classes will do it for you. Okay. We're not here to teach you what to write and to put into boxes and whatever. You make that decision. You just need an understanding of what you're doing. And this is why there are hundreds of thousands of people with $100 million bonds that they did through an SPC process. And they just sit there and they're like, I don't know how to use $1 of it.
Right.
Crazy world we live in.
The document you mentioned, you should just get that the additional paperwork then, right? From Patrick did.
Yeah.
You get that, you'll get the additional, and then still do a class probably or whatever.
Still do a class, man. Like this is, you only have to do this once for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Keep up the good.
No problem. No problem. Okay, let's go to Tammy Wynn.
Hey, Paul Michael.
Hey there.
This is pertaining to doing the lien process.
Yes.
I have a vehicle, a vacant lot of land, and a house that I want to get the UCC 3 done on and, do the indenture trustee agreement for my foreign granted trust. How do I get that out of the county records and the DMV records? Because my vehicle is in repo status, and my HOA is threatening to lien my house for the HOA.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm wondering, how do does that get it out of the county records and the DMV records? And then also they get notice of that, or I send notice to them, or
yeah, you send notice. You just do this. You like, listen, I got a private bank. I got a foreign grantor trust. My bank has the property inside of the private bank, and then the assets are put into the foreign grantor trust. Now you don't own the property, so they're not coming after you. Then after you do that, they're going to be like, damn it, now I got to go to Taiwan if I want to get this property, And then you're like, you know what? Because you keep on doing this and going after me, even after I sent it to Taiwan, I'm going to put a lien on you. And they're like, don't do that, bro. And you're like, sorry, I just did. And you're like, all right. If I leave you alone, will you excise it? Will you get rid of it? And you're like, yeah, sure. And there you go.
Are you leaning the management company or the president?
Yes, the company. The company. You're leaning the company, and it'll be sizable. And you're just good. And then all of a sudden, who's going to be mad? Their wives. Their wives are going to be mad. They're going to be like, I try to use the company credit card. I try to use this and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, I can't use it because I owe freaking this lien of whatever amount of money, and it's insane.
Now, is that recorded in the county records?
No, it's recorded in, you do a submission. Again, we need to start with the indenture agreement. Once you have the indenture agreement, then you can go get it done at the county record. Well, I mean, you could just do it privately and just have a notary do it and stuff like that, and then send it over to them and go about that process. You could put it into the county records because, the county records is the one that also keeps the information of the title to your property, right?
Right. I'm thinking like, I've been taught land patents and things like that. This is even stronger than land patent.
Oh yeah, Patrick Devine is the man. He's John Wick of this generation. I truly love it. But get your 3 EINs. I highly recommend classes at creditoracademy.com to get your EINs and know what the structure is. I talk about HOAs in the ebook specifically, okay, in relation to the foreign grantor trust. And it's powerful stuff. I went through the same thing you did. So I get it. I totally understand. In my state, what is it?
No, I was just going to ask if it's something I could do quickly because they're saying like 45 days.
For them to put a lien?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get this done in a weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You just need to know how to operate. That's it. And that's why.
Yeah.
Also, I'll put the indenture agreement for the people that paid for the Patrick Devine files. I'll put my sample one in there, plus the how to manage it and all the other stuff to it as well. And then just plug it in. It took me like, with the right understanding and all of that, it took me like 30 minutes to do it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Actually, it takes probably more time to read the indenture agreement than it is to actually fill out the spaces and all of that. But yeah, it's there.
Yeah, I've read a few. I've read just a few of them.
Exactly. I saw a hand up.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for. Or Patrick's here for. Pauline, I saw you raise your hand. Let me call on you for a second. I wanted to talk to you anyways.
I was going to ask if we would get the indenture agreement somehow. I just sent an email to sales. I'd like to purchase the Patrick Devine files, then I'll get the indenture agreement.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Also, we'll have a conversation soon, Pauline. We're getting the establishing a UCC contract trust. I want to talk to you a little bit about that.
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, love more.
I love you.
Oh, Michael the man. I love you.
Michael the man. Yeah, I'm just an interpreter. That's all I am.
Okay, love you, man. Love you. Look, I have the lady that does my taxes. And I told her about Creditor Academy.
Yeah.
And she's interested in the bookkeeping if you need someone to do bookkeeping.
Oh, absolutely. What a headache that is. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
send
I'm
to HR at creditoracademy.com and yeah, absolutely. That would be super beneficial.
Okay, I'll pass that email on to her. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, that was it. Okay. Panchy.
Hey, how you doing, Paul?
Doing good, buddy.
How you doing, brother? Good talking to you.
Dude, good talking to you too, bro. What's going on?
I'm well. So I have my EINs.
Okay.
Right? But like I told you during one of our consultations, in my haste, I made a mistake and I sent the same information twice on the estate and the private banker.
Yeah.
So I called the IRS and I cleared it up with them. Should I do it again in writing?
You should take my classes at creditoracademy.com and talk to the professors.
I'm doing that right after this is over. Yeah.
That's my advice. The professors are like, dude, I'll cover it. They'll cover it all. They'll take your questions. They'll be like, that is it. And the classes are about an hour long. They'll disseminate the information in a presentation, and you get the ebook too. So you'll be able to like not have to worry about taking a bunch of notes. It'll be written right there, and they'll just explain, as I do, kind of the overarching story which you need to know. And then and you'd be set to go.
Well, just one last question. When I joined the academy, you get access to the files, but in sales, we can purchase more files and templates and stuff like that.
Yeah, I should have put the Patrick Devine files there too. I'll do that. I'll get a hold of my ID maker and say, hey, add to the auto response that, that's such a good point. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, that's
It's
so
all
much more
good. That's why,
convenient.
hey, that's why you got the community, brother. We all
That's
think
why I
together.
got the community. I know, man. I'm just like, what? That would be so much more convenient. And a brief description as well. I'll do exactly that. Okay, let's go to Denise.
Hi, Paul.
Hey there.
Okay, so I already have my secured, whatever, UC secured package, party, whatever, all that nonsense,
Right.
bond
Okay.
and all that, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Would I have to take the class, the UCC class, just to learn how to freaking operate? Because I am getting nowhere.
Well, the question is, do you know how to operate?
No.
Well,
I mean, I've been studying for like a freaking year, and I'm not making headway. I'm just not.
I hear you, because it's confusing. Because remember, I spoke about this before, and I'm telling you, the same aggravation went through me when I was following a bunch of different gurus and all that. They operate. I mean, I taught different. I remember the home health care agency owners I was talking about, and I
Right.
said the reason why you're not successful is because you're trying to do every single position of your bank or of your business and
Yes.
trying to operate that instead of being the owner and the boss. The gurus kind of operated in the same way. They said, I know that I'm an individual banker, but I'm not going to hire people or anything. I'm just going to learn every position myself. So now you go up to the guru and you say, hey, how do I do this, blah, blah, blah. And then they put on the hat, like I do, of that position to do the remedy. And now you're just on information overload because they're trying to tell you everything that that position does.
Exactly.
And then as soon as you ask a second question that involves a different hat, they're disseminating that information. And then you're like, oh my God, you're obviously the most knowledgeable person I've ever met in your life because you had 20 years to like learn all this information, but it's just information overload. That's why for my private bank, I'm not learning how to be an accounting officer. I'm hiring an accounting officer, and I'm just going to tell them, hey, we do W8 bends. Oh, okay, I could do that. And I'm like, great. Now I don't have to go to school to be an accounting officer because everything about your job is exactly the same as you went to school for. You know, it's just telling them the things that they need to know to operate in the private, but they'll still communicate with the Treasury Department for me. And that's what this will eventually be. You're going to run your private bank. You're going to have employees. Everything's going to run and operate just fine, and you'll get your credits and all that. And then you're going to make a decision. You're going to be like, I love boats. I want to buy 100 of them, or just for my own fun, or I want to rent them out, or whatever it might be. And then you'll use your private bank, you know, to do some funding or whatever, and, you know, all that. And you'll start living your life in the private and operating your business in that way as well.
And that's the goal.
That's it, man. But we got to keep it simple. And how I keep it simple is I hire the right people for the positions that I'm looking to have done. I don't try to memorize every position. You'll go crazy.
I am going crazy.
Yeah. Isn't that frustrating? Someone needed to come into this truth movement and be the Donald Trump of this of this truth movement and run this like a business. And I'm telling you, the only position that I am for sure know that I can do is how to operate as a boss, as an individual banker. All the other stuff,
and spend the money.
Yeah, that's it.
So do you think I should take the UCC class? Would you think that would be beneficial to me? Because that they're going to be teaching them how to do the papers, which I already have.
We don't teach anything.
Okay.
You will never take a class from me where we will teach you how to do the papers.
Okay.
They teach you what the structure and the understanding of why you're doing the things you're doing.
Okay.
And once you have that, you don't need me anymore. Move on with your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, freaking Paul was annoying anyways.
No, we don't
you,
want to
baby.
leave you, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. All right, let's go to my last question. Brian Dunlap.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
What's going on, buddy?
Man, I was trying to get into the class, man. Every time I go to the website, it's just like
It goes
email
up quick.
registry.
What can I say, man? It goes a mile a minute. I had like 70 people like 30 minutes even before we got started. So yeah, getting in early.
Okay, so what I have to keep going or trying into the next class? Because like I said, when I go, all I can see is the registration for the email. You know, that's it. That's the only thing I can see on the site, man.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, I already taught the class, but being live streamed on YouTube. As soon as I end it here, it'll be ready and available for you to watch the whole thing.
Okay, I appreciate that, Paul. I appreciate everything you're doing, man.
All right, that is it. All right, everybody. I know there's plenty of more questions, but let me go ahead and wrap up. If you want to get involved and connect with others in our community, please join our Facebook group at Creditor Academy. You can find the Facebook link by emailing creditoracademy@gmail.com. And then if you would like to sign up for our classes, you could do so by emailing classes@creditoracademy.com, where you'll get the basics of all the EINs. If you would like to order your badges, your IDs, your public identification documents, and now all the Patrick Devine files, you can email sales@creditoracademy.com, and follow us on Rumble, YouTube. Please subscribe. We need business trust professionals, and I need more HR people for Creditor Academy. So email your resume. You must email your resume to hr@creditoracademy.com. Thank you all once again for joining. Today is Tuesday, April 30th. We will have next class this coming Thursday, where we will cover more about your employees and the structure of your private bank, so you can operate in the private. Very exciting, more stuff to come. The banking examiner is the next one we will cover more in detail. Until then, thank you all for your time. Blessings. God bless. I will leave the room open so then all of you can converse and talk. I also did the same for Facebook. I left the chat open, so now you can talk infinitely without having to just rely on people's comments and rebuttals. Okay, I will leave it all to you now.
I love you, Paul. Get some carrot cake.
Thank you, buddy.
Paul.
Thank you very much.
No
God bless, Paul.
Thank you,
Paul.
Good class, Paul. Good class.
For sure, Paul.